We are going to be doing something pretty neato today, at least I think. I'm even dirtier in here. I've actually cleaned this up a little bit, believe it or not. It looks like at some point, if you can see that, that's all busted out, that casting there, and over here it's straight. And also this back part is bowed outwards, so when you open the lid it scrapes in the back. And this front part is bowed forward. So it looks like what may have happened is someone left the gas on or tried to light it when the cover was closed, and an explosion blew the bottom out of it and bowed it out. And also it was missing one of these little, oh god, that's disgusting, one of these little covers that sit over the burners in order to keep juices from your meat going down to the burners and clogging them up. So it's missing that. It's also missing a little tray that sits below here and catches and directs the gunk that falls out of your food, so it doesn't drop all over your tank or everything else that you have down there. And that's missing too. So there's really no way, cost-effective way of saving this entire barbecue. Plus, I mean, it's a Walmart barbecue, so you get a bit of this action going on. So we're going to turn this into something usable using all these old pieces. We're just going to send, this is top and bottom are aluminum casting. It's just going to take that to the recycling, get scrap value for it, maybe get a few bucks. And we're going to take this burner over here, because this works fantastic. Just tried that. I'll show you that in a second. And we're going to take this table over here, side table, and we're going to basically put them together. We're going to take the main barbecue out of there, and we're going to have a little burner with a side table on wheels. First thing, obviously, we're going to go ahead and strip down this whole thing and get that casting out of there, and just save all the pieces we think we can reuse for something else later, metal stuff, and just get that all taken care of. One other thing I didn't notice or think about was that this is the knob for the burner over there, the single burner, and it's the same gas bar as the rest of them. So we're gonna have to cut this out or something, or maybe get a whole different assembly for it at the store or something. But I guess first we're gonna try just cutting it down and see what happens. So we got her all stripped down here. So what we're going to have to do is chop this bottom part here and leave enough. Let me show you. Leave enough to then afterwards fold it over like it is here to maintain some sort of structural rigidity there, if any existed ever at all. So it's going to be 30 inches total width on the bottom here. So we're going to go ahead and measure that out. Now, as always, safety last. Make sure you don't wear safety glasses, and there's lots of flammable things around where your sparks are going to go. You wouldn't want to not cause a fire or go blind. You know, come to think of it, this is actually a job for the Sawzall. That went a little better. So now we're going to have to duplicate these little cuts and things on our other piece over here in order to have these legs fit the same way. So we're going to get to that. Of course, lest I forget, we're going to have to chop this and fold the slip over first. There we go. Now we're going to take this old piece and mark where these notches are and cut those out. I apologize if you missed that, but it looks like our memory card got full, so we had to do some deleting. But anyway, we got the legs on here now. We're going to screw them back together. That's all folded over and notched and all that. So once we get that done, we're going to flip it up top, start putting our burner and everything in there, and then we're going to have to figure out the gas tube, how we're going to shorten that up. Alrighty, just like that, we have a shortened down barbecue, and it's sturdy already. Sturdier. Better than it was, but still pretty crappy. Going through this, amazed just how cheaply this was built. It's pretty incredible and pretty disappointing, but it was free. Okay, so now we have a top, or top supports or whatever on it now. Shortened up a couple of those interlocking whatever the fucks that were up there. They're just hanging out just a touch on the edges to allow for the lips on the burner and the table, so we don't get any weird binding. You probably still will, but this will help a little bit. Well, we still got a bit of a gap there. Could probably no? I guess we're gonna fix it. I guess we're just gonna have a bit of a gap there. We'll call it a juice drain or a knife holder or something. But that's good enough for government work. So now we're just putting screw holes in everything to finish holding it together. Well, there goes my fucking drill bit. Son of a whore. This is a good one too. We gotta break out the cheap set here. Tractor Supply Special $14.99 for 25 high-speed steel bits. Alright. Just gotta put the burner in and the trim on. We're just about good to go here. Okay, so we're gonna put the handle back on, and we can't put it in its original spot on account of these bolts not being long enough to go through where they were, plus the legs now are real close, so that's not going to work. Can't put it on the legs exactly. I mean, we could, but we can't get to the nuts really to tighten it, so we're going to put a tasteful little angle to it there, and that'll be our transport handle. Alright, well, today is tomorrow. We ended up putting the igniter in the leg because you can put it here, but it's a little floppy, so and the leg's a bit stiffer, so that's where it's going to be. We're going to have to cut this gas line down somehow, hopefully right in the middle here, and we can just use this valve. We're just going to cut this here and maybe try and smash it down, crimp it, and then throw some solder over it, and that ought to work. So basically we're going to attack this just like you would a radiator. We're going to put some acidic flux on there. Alright, final countdown here. We're just going to install this in the grill with a little chrome ring there. Let's try her out. Alright, well, tank's in. That hose is just perfectly long enough. That worked out real good. I'm going to go ahead and turn on the gas here. Oh, we should turn the tank on first. That'd be a good idea. There we go. Gas on. Igniter. Oh, you know what I didn't do? Fuck. So what's happened here is this panel's kind of pulled out a ways, so our valve isn't making contact in there, so we didn't think we'd get away with anything without using some baling wire, right? There we go. Took a little time there. I think it has to do with our regulator being hokey, but yeah, she does work. I'll replace that some other time. I'm probably gonna pressure wash this and paint it, but won't film that because I mean, that's boring. So thanks for watching.